What is going on? Another 2-Minute Tuesday. We got an important one coming your way today. This is the number one issue that I see with new agents that new agents struggle with, which if you don't have a grasp on is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So please do not be unorganized and do not make this mistake, and that is underwriting. So Gabe, how can a brand new agent that has zero experience and knows nothing about underwriting can get better at putting clients with the right products with the right companies?
Yeah. So to preface, you preface this really well. We had a call with Damon, number one producer in Pinnacle. He said that was one of the most important things he did right off the bat was learn how to underwrite. So I'm going to give everyone 3 ways because this is what I did. So I'm going to give them the 3 ways that I got really good at underwriting. And I'm going to be honest, dude, I'd never looked at an underwriting cheat sheet. I'd never have looked at an underwriting cheat sheet. So first thing is your upline does not have all the answers. In fact, he might know just as much as you about underwriting. So you want to figure out who has the answers. The first one is the insurance companies.
So Gabe, if my upline can't underwrite, am I
No. I'm going to, if you keep watching, I'm going to help you out. You're
Okay.
good. And you're a great example because I would go to you when I was brand new and be like, what do I do here? And you would always say, well, did you look at the sheet? Did you do this? Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So number one, when you're brand new, you should talk to the carriers. Call them. They all have an underwriting department. Each carrier has a specific thing typically that, they're known for, what they approve, what they don't approve. Talk to the underwriting department for 5 minutes.
For example, Foresters is very diabetic friendly.
Exactly.
I've gotten people that are on insulin approved with the Smart UL.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Certain companies are going to be good for COPD. Certain companies are going to be good for diabetes.
Yep.
How many diabetic meds, things like that. Number 2 is going to be insurance toolkits.
Yep.
It's $40 a month. Pay for the professional version.
Yep.
Pinnacle provides a free version. Pay for $40 a month. You can share it with multiple agents. And that's a great way to start as well for underwriting. You can plug in the medications, but pay close attention because after a while, you're not going to have to always put in the medications. And then the third one is going to be the applications. If you read each question on the application, a lot of them are going to tell you, if you answer yes to these, this is the risk class. If you answer yes to these, it's going to go preferred. It's going to go graded. It's going to go standard. And a lot of them have time frames within the last 2 years, within the last 5 years, within the last 10 years. And if you read those questions, that is how they determine if this client's going to qualify or not.
Exactly.
So those are 3 easy things. And then
let me add to that too, where the Pinnacle underwriting spreadsheet, tremendously helpful.
Yeah.
So I would recommend guys go through the spreadsheet first, then cross-reference it with the Pinnacle toolkit, or the quote tool. Cross-reference the Pinnacle spreadsheet, underwriting spreadsheet, then use the quote tool. Then if you really need to, call the carrier. And it's always good to call the carrier to get more information. And it's funny because you look at any high-level producer, they're going to typically tell you the same thing, that, hey, I called the insurance companies when I knew.
Yeah.
So if all the top producers are telling me that, I would probably do that. And then at the end of the day, it's not as complex and it's not as hard as you think. And the truth is, for those that are you that are new watching this and you think, dude, I just submitted contracts with 30 carriers, don't worry, we only write 4 or 5 of those. So the 4 or 5 main carriers we write Transamerica, we write Foresters, we write Mutual of Omaha, we write AHL, Royal Neighbors, and that's about it. So focus on and then KCL for the term. So focus on mastering those carriers and learning the underwriting on those products. And after you actually learn it, you're going to think, oh, wow, this isn't as bad as I thought. Anything else you want to add, Gabe?
Last thing, I'm just going to go through a quick mental thing I always go through is like an A tier, B tier, C tier. So when you're reading the health questions on the sheet, understand what your A tier, like your red level, like this is serious, this could be serious, this isn't that serious, real quick. So your serious stuff, heart attack, stroke, cancer. Find out when they had it. Are they still being treated for it? Heart attack, stroke, cancer, aneurysm, Alzheimer's, dementia. These are your red tiers. Like this is whole life only. Potentially even graded depending on how long ago it was, but the time frames matter. Your mid tiers are going to be asthma. Is it mild or chronic? If it's chronic, that could be more of a red. If it's mild, that could be more of a green. So asthma, COPD, diabetes, depression, anxiety, these are all that you need to emphasize and be like, is this something that's more serious or is this less serious? If it's one anxiety med, one depression med, diabetes is under control versus not in control. And then you have your kind of like green, yellow, red. Your green would be high blood pressure, cholesterol, thyroid. As long as they're not on 3 medications for each of those, those are easy. A lot of people have those, like stomach ulcers, things like that. Green typically is not on any application questions. The only time you'll see it is like complications of those things. So heart attack, stroke, cancer, all that, red. You have your asthma, COPD, diabetes. Investigate further. Your depression, anxiety, investigate further. Your blood pressure, cholesterol, I'm just like, do you have 3 meds or less? And they're like, yes. I'm moving on to like the next rank of medical questions.
Yeah. And I'll put this to, well, I add 2 more things and we'll wrap up here. A good general rule of thumb is that if they're above the age of 60, it's probably going to be whole life. And if they're below the age of 60, it's probably going to be a term or an IUL. Of course, you have plenty of people that are young that cannot qualify for a term or an IUL. You have plenty of people that are older that are in good health that can qualify for a term or an IUL. So that's not always the same. And then the second thing is, you may have heard me say this before, but if so, this will be a good reminder. Never gamble. When it comes to underwriting, never, ever gamble. I see too many agents where they discover the benefits of an IUL, or they think, oh, this person's not going to want to hold. I'm trying to get them the best option. And I appreciate where people's hearts are at. But the truth is that most people only try to apply for a life insurance once in their life. So you have to look at it as, hey, I only have one shot to help this family. And if I don't help this on this phone, if I don't help them on this phone call, they may never get life insurance again, which a lot of the time is true. And so where I'm going with that is that, let's say Gabe has some health issues going on, and Gabe is 55, and it's he might qualify for an IUL, and I go to spend an IUL, and I tell him, hey Gabe, we're gonna get you $300,000 for $250 a month. He's like, all right, sounds good. Submit the application. Denied. And then I called Gabe. I said, hey, Gabe, so what we're going to do, we're going to apply for 2 years of mortgage payments for that same dollar amount. And Gabe says, what? 2 years? I'm only getting $30,000? Well, I don't want that. And it's a much harder pivot than if I would have just pitched Gabe the equity protection in the beginning.
Yeah.
So if it's a question of they might qualify, might not, always take the safe route and just go straight whole life and do not roll the dice on that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So, guys, if you took value from this, you know the drill. Like, subscribe. Be sure somebody else needs to hear this message. God bless. Let's make it a week.